Hello folks, coming to you in a very surprise impromptu video here because you will not believe what just happened to me. I don't even believe what just happened to me. So you know how I had just stated about a couple days ago in that sewing room table video, this table here behind me, how I wanted to make it as much out of recycled and repurposed material as possible. And lastly, and here's the kicker, I wanted to use as many recycled and repurposed materials as possible. Well, I didn't originally mean that had to include the sewing machine, but apparently the universe misinterpreted my demands because, you believe it or not, I just found a sewing table on the streets of Montreal. And if I'm a little bit out of breath right now, it is because I literally just finished hauling it up to my third story apartment here. It was ridiculous and fun, and I thought I should take you along with me for this fun little adventure. So it all started when I was just walking Canal around the block. We had just come home from the park. We're not so far away from home. And my eye was caught by something on the side of the road. So I stopped over to see what it was, and sure enough, it was a sewing machine. And what caught my eye immediately, other than, of course, the fact that it was a free sewing machine, was the fact that it was the exact model as the one that I grew up with. It's the one that was my great-grandmother's. You probably saw it a lot in my Lord of the Rings housecoat video. And so I know this machine really well. And so I went over and checked it out. And sure enough, the guy was there. He was cleaning out the house. Apparently, they had just purchased the house with everything in it, and they've been slowly emptying it and cleaning it out over the past couple months or so. And I can verify, I actually often find some things outside of that house, including actually that's where the pegboard that's back there came from. I ripped that pegboard out of a cupboard just outside his house. So that is the second time that corner has given me something very fun and useful for my sewing room. It seemed to be in working order. I did test it out just cranking it by hand. Everything looked like it was there. It seemed to be in pretty good shape, and it had a sign on it that said for giving away in French. So not only was this guy nice enough to first of all bring out the power so that I could test to see if it works. Machine à coudre. Wow. But then he also gave me his trolley so that I could wheel this thing home. Wow. Not every day you find a sewing machine on the side of the road and then get the owner to give you his dolly to bring it home on. Because I was still about 15 minutes away from home, and you can bet I absolutely would have found a way to get it home, but it was definitely much easier with the trolley. So he gave me his trolley, we loaded it up, and I walked home with me and Canal and a sewing machine on a trolley. So that was incredibly fun. Then the slightly less fun part was dragging it up 3 stories of stairs. It was a little bit awkward because, of course, the machine is encased in the table. It's a unit at this point. They don't come apart. So I had to drag the whole thing up here, and it was a little bit awkward, but I managed it. It is now up here, and I am super excited. No, Shannon, you've hit your limit. 1 for the day is gonna have to do. Just back away from the free furniture and no one will get hurt. It does look like it is in good working order. Like, we did test it and it runs, and it looks like it could use a little bit of a tune-up, but I think it's mostly aesthetic. It seems to be perfectly functional, but it is going to need a little bit of cleaning, probably a little bit of oiling, all that good stuff. I do need to just go through and give it a bit more of an in-depth look. I was just so excited, and I couldn't believe it was the same model as the one I grew up on, which I love so much. I mean, I love my Pfaff too. I have 3 or 4 of this exact model back at my parents' house because I love it so much. But now I have my 2 favorite machines here in Montreal. Absolutely cannot believe it. What are the odds? So yeah, now I just have to grab Canal and return that guy's trolley to him.
Salut.
Well, since he was so thoughtful to lend it to me, I'm definitely going to make sure I get it back to him promptly. So we're going to go do that right now. And then I know what I'm going to be doing for the next few days. And that is working with this machine and seeing what all it needs to be done. Do I salvage the table? Do I trash the table and put the machine in my old Singer table, the antique one? I don't even know. The current table it looks a little bit junky and it looks in really rough shape. So my guess is I don't really need to salvage that table, and I'll just see if I can transfer the knee foot pedal arrangement thing over to the old Singer table. Not entirely sure. I haven't even thought that far ahead. I'm just so excited and shocked, and I thought you guys had to come with me because, you know, you just came with me for this whole sewing table thing, so this just seems a small impromptu extension of the same video. So I'm going to get my dog and we're gonna go return the trolley. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me know down in the comments on a scale of 1 to 10 how absolutely ridiculous was this whole scenario. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye. You good to go? You good to go? Should we go for a walk? Let's go for a walk. Baby, let's go for a walk.